Florida, and we are at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's that most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Mahomes. Got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward. And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 9 yards that time.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
On play action, it's Mahomes. Rolling to his right. And he's got his man in stride, complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. Now a handoff looking right. Marquise Bell in on that stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Mahomes takes it himself, and this time he breaks the plane. He's in for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Seahawks will strike first here, this wild card matchup. So much for being intimidated on the road in the playoffs, right? That was a pretty clinical drive right there.
Yeah, they seem to come out with the attitude of, we don't deal with pressure. We create it on the other team. Just took it right down the field and stuffed it in the end zone.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Seahawks 7, Buccaneers nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Now a play fake here on first down. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Then they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes that's a danger of putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
14 yards through the air. Caught the D off guard on 3rd and 1. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And this time he is in. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Buccaneers are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own. The extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after one. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Mahomes now to throw. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. It'll go in the Bucs as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round, they told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. He'll look to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. So a big chunk of yardage will be marked off there for that PI call.
And now you know why receivers and the guys throwing the ball, they like to collaborate and just heave it up sometimes, because you can get these types of calls that go against the defense. Pass interference, and they gain over 30 yards of real estate on that one.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mahomes. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Looking for Gibson, and he's got him going across the formation. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down, and then some.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have moved out in front. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now back to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, it's certainly going to be a lot tougher adding a touchdown to that lead now since they're facing 2nd and 20+. Big-time sack to start the drive and put the opponent way back. Let's see what kind of play call they come up with here.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now here's Mahomes. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
But Charles, what a rookie season he had catching the football, over 1,000 yards on the year, and he comes through there with a nice grab.
And we've seen wide receivers in recent years come in and have big years right away. And you think about Justin Jefferson in 2020, 1,400 yards and huge impact on his team and on the league. This guy, he's following his footsteps as an impact guy here in year one.
Two minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Eluding the pressure right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. There he goes, right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much.
He's got a man complete.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. He'll drop to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be second down. They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And his kick is indeed good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room, But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
Off the RPO, he completes it. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's a 2nd and 7. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. On the move past the 40. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. They'll look to throw again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in the running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Buccaneers have got it back to within a score. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Now the Bucs offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. This is caught. Was he in? Yes. 2 points. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that momentum stays in your camp.
And out across midfield down to the 45. 56 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. They followed up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down. And the 13-year man puts it through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this third quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the second half and take over.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, the former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Up the middle they go. Womack. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he is going to have a Bucs first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card match. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. He'll look to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. The offense on third down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They run a draw here on second down. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
So they need 2 yards here on third down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here at their own 23. So that a definite deflator there on the interception.
Yeah, you work your way down the field thinking you're in position for a go-ahead score. But all it takes is one errant throw, and this one winds up a turnover.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this a very important drive leading in the fourth quarter of this wild card game. But this one far from over as they start out here first down. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. Throwing left side, it's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was, and if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
And he will dive into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is successful. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass, so you spread people out, decide to run the football, you often find good running lanes.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the fourth as they go to work on a crucial, that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On 4th down, Mike Vrabel says, let's get 3 out of this. He sends on the field goal unit. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But, you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started.
They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go along.
He's got a man complete. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 58 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. On play action, they'll throw. Touchdown! From 3 yards out. And the Bucs have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
That touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now, it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And that one is caught. So they convert here, and don't look now, but this one's back to a 1-score game. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Mahomes going to throw it here. He's going to flip that out to the... Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, I'm guessing that on the sidelines there might be a few words said about that mistake there, but I don't think handling's going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, they got the two-score cushion, but you know what coaches say, Charles? Finish strong.
Finish the game out the way it's supposed to be played. In fact, coaches might be secretly happy. Gives them a chance to do a little extra coaching next week.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. He's going to let it fly. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 45 yards.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
Stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. They